And we are live. Assalamu alaikum. Hello and good day. This is Mainul going live in another episode of Road to Gold. I hope wherever you are tuning in from, you are having a very lovely day. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. If this is the first time you are watching me in the social media space, then please let me give some brief information about myself. I'm Mainul. I was born and raised in Bangladesh, where I'm currently located, but I have studied, lived, and worked in Germany and Australia as well. I'm a biologist by profession, husband, father of a baby girl, and a digital business mentor. So I help people learn how to use various social media platforms and be able to run flexible and doable online business from anywhere in the world. So again, Ramadan Kareem, we have ended the last 10 days of the Ramadan. I hope that you have had a blessed month so far. And inshallah, whatever your goals are, whatever dua that you're making, Allah accept those for you and for us as well. So, as usual, I've got my two co-hosts, Brother Amin, all the way from Sydney, and Sister Fatima from Calgary, and we have got a distinguished guest, Sister Fauzi, also from Calgary. So, without further ado, I'll now hand over to my co-host, Brother Amin. So, Assalamu alaikum, brother. How are you doing?
Walaikum salam, alhamdulillah. Going good, brother. And assalamu alaikum to Sister Fatima and also our special guest, Sister Fauzia, today as well. So, before we move on to our usual conversation, for those people who don't know me, my name is Amin, originally from Sri Lanka. It's been 12 years since we moved to Sydney, Australia. My wife Xenia and I are the ones who are running this online business. And we have two lovely kids. One is in their teens, the other one is already in university. So with that, I would like to kind of invite Sister Fatima to also introduce, and then we move on to Sister Fauzi. How are you, Sister Fatima?
I'm good, thank you. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Thank you for joining us. So, for those who don't know me, I'm Fatma. I'm based out in Alberta, Canada. I've been here since 2009, and I came here for my studies and then just ended up staying here. I do have two kids, and I'm also working in a healthcare research company while running this business on the side. And today so happens that our guest is also from my city, but I haven't met her. So this is the first time meeting her. So welcome, Sister Fauzia. Could you please introduce yourself and let us know what brought you to this business?
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Assalamu alaikum, Brother Mano, Brother Amin, and Sister Fatima. My name is Fauzia. I live in Calgary, Canada, with my husband and two lovely kids. My daughter, she's 10, and my son, he's 2 years old. And I am an accountant by profession and also a successful digital business owner. And I'm a full-time stay-at-home mom right now and doing this online business. The reason I started this online business, it was about 2 years ago. My daughter, she came up to me. She told me, "Mom, you never have time for me, and you're always working." And looking back in my daughter's history, she was diagnosed with cancer when she was 4.5 years old, and it was just heartbreaking for me to be in that situation, having two jobs, working in a family restaurant during the day, and then doing taxes in H&R Block during the evening. It was just heartbreaking. And that day, my world shattered again, realizing that, what she went through, I can't do this to her forever. I need to find another alternative, like a side hustle or something that I can do, at my own schedule and stuff like that. And at the same time, help my husband on the side with, finance and stuff. As you know, living in Canada or anywhere else in the world is very expensive these days, and having one source of income is not enough. So that's when I realized, and I kept searching and searching and searching. And finally, I saw an ad on Facebook, and this lady, she was talking about online business, and she's able to do it from her home and, being around her kids. And I got very curious. And I was like, you know what? Let me just, let's see how it is. And, they had the 90 minutes workshop, and I registered my name and email address. I got on and watched the 90 minutes life-changing webinar that everyone was sharing their life story, how they started this online business and where they are at right now. And it was something I'm like, this is something that I'm looking for. So definitely. And I didn't even question or anything. I went for the 30-day trial right away. and did my coaching call within a few days, and had my business started probably within a week or two. So
Your story is a very touching one, sister. So obviously, so is your baby girl now cured, or she's still going through the treatment?
so right now she is considered cancer free, 5 years cancer free, Alhamdulillah, and I'm very thankful. And she was the reason that got me into this online business, got me to think differently, and Alhamdulillah, as you guys know, when you have a tragedy happening in your life, it's very hard. Life is hard. You're emotionally, mentally, financially, everything, you're struggling in any way. And knowing that when I came to this online business, it definitely changed my life. Everything changed. I had a mentor, I had a coach, and a whole community of entrepreneurs around the world that I could hear their story, and realizing that I'm not the only one who's struggling in life, and there's other people. And obviously, if you look for something, if you look deeply into it, you're definitely going to find that solution. And Alhamdulillah, I'm blessed. I'm thankful to Allah for giving me this opportunity. And I did struggle within the business. I started 2 years ago, but the first year I struggled a lot because of my daughter. I had to do homeschooling because COVID started right away, and I had no other choice. And I was working full time as well. And finally, after starting my online business, my husband and we were ready to have our second child, which was, another blessing in our life. And we worked very hard. Alhamdulillah, within the first year of the business, we bought our first house before we were 30. That was our goal. And Alhamdulillah, we achieved those goals. And taking that 1 year off, it didn't change much, but I did grow. I did achieve many of my goals. But then I did come back to the business, and I started where I ended it. So I didn't have to do everything from scratch. So I just had to continue where I left off.
Yes, thank you very much. So, for very deep insights into your story, that's very inspiring. Hopefully, it will inspire our viewers. So, sister, while you are doing research about various online business, you said that you have been looking for quite some time. So, did you come across other business model, and why do you choose this business model? And as a newbie, how easy or how difficult was it for you to start a business? So, could you please enlighten our viewers? So
Uh,
first, Sister Fauzi, over to you, and then Brother Amin, Sister Fatima, maybe I could add something as well. So please proceed.
sure, no worries. Uh, I'm not a business background person. I never owned a business before. And because I finished schooling for accounting and then 2019, and then of course I couldn't find a job, but I was still working in a family run restaurant. And when COVID hit in, I couldn't find any other jobs except having the two jobs that I was working. And I did research in some other businesses, for example, financial advising, and there was a couple other ones. And every single one of them I did go, like, training kind of thing for a week or two, and I just didn't like the model. I hate chasing family first. That was one of the biggest thing that I did not want to do, and I don't want to be the bad person all the time, right? And of course there was other like Amazon stuff like that. It was very expensive. The investment, you need a lot of investment. And with me, struggling financially, I didn't have that opportunity. I didn't have that option. So, and when I came to this business, they said, there's no hold of inventory, there is no selling involved, there is no chasing family or friend, and there's a mentor and a coach provided, and an automated system. And that's when I said, okay, yes, this is what I'm looking into, because I want time freedom. I want to be able to earn an income at the same time, put more attention on my daughter, because of course, having a sick child is not easy. There's many, many, many side effects after chemo and stuff like that. So she does have many appointments towards throughout the year, and me working full time was an option for me. And if you work one day, 2 day, the next day they're like, sorry, you can't be here, like taking days off like that. So definitely this was one of the things that checkmarked all of the things that I needed to start an online business. And of course, the investment was so small. It was so small that anyone can start it.
Thank you, Sister Fazia, for that inspiring story. I think rather than talking about myself, Brother Minor, I'd like to draw a few things, attention on few things of what Sister Fazia said, right? So, every one of us have gone through different tests in our life. At that point in time, when Sister Fazia came across this situation while facing all that, she was determined to make sure that the family comes first. And what I've noticed is when a lot of people are very skeptic about an opportunity or business on the online space, Sister Fauzia, having seen that webinar, responding to an advertisement, seeing the webinar, she mentioned that she jumped in, right? And then she jumped into the 30-day free trial, and then she moved on from there. It goes to show, when your why is stronger than your excuses, you will jump in, because a lot of people are um, wanting a change in their life, prosperity, a better life, some additional source of income, but people are very scared to take that next step. Here we are, a sister who's basically put everything aside. Her why was much bigger than all the skepticism, and she jumped in, right? Alhamdulillah. And we are very happy for Sister Fauzia, mashallah, for her situation right now. She's doing well in the business, and it is an inspiration for a lot of people who are still skeptic, and sitting on the fence. And most importantly, our global community are supporting people who have never done a business, never, forget about an online business, any kind of business. We are all novices. We are not like experts in doing an online business, but yet with a minimum and a smaller investment, you are able to start your journey and learn the online business setup from scratch, and then develop it over a period of time. So thank you so much for sharing that inspirational talk, Sister Fazia. Over to you, Sister Fatima.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I'd like to add that that is very, a touching story, very inspiring, and I'm so glad that your daughter is doing better now, and mashallah, she's cured. That's good to hear. But I can understand, going through that and being, a mom, you want to be with your kid all the time, especially if they're sick, right? So I'm so glad that this opportunity came to you and you grabbed it, because a lot of us, like Brother Amin said, we see it, and because there's so much on social media, like everything is online, so you see hundreds of people talking about this and that, and then you just don't know what is real and what is not. And for me, why I chose this was because when I saw the ad about this business, the person whose ad I saw, she's also a mom. She's got 3 kids, and she's working in the public sector, and she was doing this on the side along with her job. And for me, I was looking for a way to be able to reduce my hours, because I've got 2 kids. My daughter's all grown up, but my son is little, so I feel I've lost so much time with her when I was studying and working. With him, I want to be more present before he grows up, and he's because my daughter is a teenager, so she's ready to she's very independent on her own. But with him, I want to be there for him more. So that was my reason for looking for something. And because I could relate to her, I decided to check it out and say that if she's, if this is real. And like Sister Fazia mentioned, we have our info session. We get a panel of people to come, and it's different people, they come and tell you their stories, and you can see that they're real, how that business has impacted their lives. And then it just makes you feel confident enough to go ahead and take the next step, which is a 30-day risk-free trial period, because you're not losing anything. You just come and check everything out. And with this business, because it's a complete package for anybody who doesn't have a business background, like none of us have a business background, or any